People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on. Ian Wright said it there. Retake. People deluded, I'm back again. Smash the like button. Big up you lot on Twitch. Our second of 3 live bits and content. Gonna have to race through this. It will be a shorter show than usual. 5 p.m. 5:15 better yet. We're watching Manchester United against Chelsea. Big up to you lot that were part of, unfortunately, Liverpool's 2-1 victory against Everton. Now, for me, I know we always say these buzzwords and these connotations, but I do think we go to war tomorrow against Manchester City. I do think Mikel Arteta, when the time's right, within reason, has to be brave. I do think the time has called to be brave in the attack, because if there's one area, excluding Donnarumma, that Manchester City look like food, it naturally is their defense. You know, they've got good players, but in terms of a cohesive unit, they look like they could be got at. And if that is a game where we don't go for the kill, smell blood, I don't know. As you saw with Eze's assist against Nottingham Forest, you feed Gyökeres, he'll eat. Unleash Eze, unleash everybody, really. Let's go for it. I don't think Max Dowman will be involved. You would have seen him score for Arsenal's under-21s this afternoon against Wolves. So does that mean Bukayo Saka is back in some capacity? Who is going to be on the bench, people? Smash the like button and let me know all your thoughts. Don't forget, tomorrow, live from 3:30, an hour before kickoff, we'll begin our watch-along for Arsenal against Manchester City. So, yeah, and I hope you and your loved ones are good. Edward, appreciate you. Got to be a busy bee, man. Got to be a smarter bee. But let's crack on, man. Let's crack on. Why waste any time? Now, again, Arsenal versus Manchester City has become a rivalry. They have crossed the waters and been in a territory we would love our club to be, winning Premier Leagues, winning multiple Premier Leagues, winning Champions Leagues. But little old Arsenal has somehow rattled them. We've seen several kind of bust-ups after the game, and it is the stay humble derby. We're looking for Saliba and more so Gabriel Magalhaes against Haaland and plenty of other talking points. Again, Manchester City, above all, they were embarrassed last year. You lost 5-1, and it'd be interesting to see how they set up, because if you look at their goals, yeah, one thing I liked about Arsenal, we smelt blood, we exploited mistakes, but their build-up play, go and watch the game again or watch the highlights again, the build-up play, actually the use of Declan Rice worked to charm. These are things Pep Guardiola's going to have in mind, people. So we'll have to see. Again, I've got faith in our defense. I've got faith in actually Pep Guardiola and Mikel Arteta kind of cancelling each other out in the middle of the park. The final third. I need us to create chances. I need us to take chances. And when you strip it all back and you look at Manchester City, and if we assume that football's decided at both ends, great keeper in Donnarumma. Our wounds haven't healed yet from his performance for PSG, his former club, against us. And they've got Haaland. I expect us to win the war. You will lose battles. It wouldn't surprise me if Haaland scores. It wouldn't surprise me if, you know, all of those kind of things. But let's go for it, man. I want bravery. Obviously, we would have seen Liverpool have continued winning ways. So it's a chance to make ground on them. Obviously, Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester City, they're expected to be the 3 teams fighting for this Premier League. So I wouldn't say you can put anybody out of this race, but you could make Manchester City's task of regaining the Premier League and their own ambitions. You could put a spanner in the works, really. And the itch, keyword itch, if you know what I'm trying to say, you know what I'm trying to say. Bernardo Silva has said they saw the opportunity to come after the guys who took their title for 2 years and they came for us. Bro, how about this? It was a football match. We smelt you were there for the taking and we went for it. You've won everything. You're a great player. You've played for your country. And you're still a little facio, if I'm honest with you. You're actually a pussy, Bernardo Silva. Again, the one thing I want to see, don't want to see you hurt. First 50-50 with this guy, whoever's playing against him. You're immediately man of the match for Arsenal Football Club. Pep Guardiola has said on the 5-1 defeat last season, we started like an under-14s team. We gave away 1,000 million goals. The last 15-20 minutes was a disaster. It was easy for Arsenal. So that's going to be fresh in the wounds. It is going to be Zubimendi against, to be fair, a half-fit Rodri. You kind of kill Rodri getting on the ball. You stifle their build-up play. It'd be interesting to see the lineups from both teams, more so Manchester City, and how they approach it, because their build-up play, we was onto him, we was onto them. They conceded 5 goals. We smelt blood. The use of Rice, actually Odegaard scoring. Where Arsenal are concerned, there's plenty of question marks. And you don't let me know your thoughts. Saliba and Mascara, who's in? Is Marino going to be in midfield? Could he go up front and you drop Gyökeres? Is Eze going to play as a 10, which means opening up, Martinelli? Is Eze going to be on the bench and you go with Martin Odegaard? Are we going to keep with Rice and Zubamendi? I'd imagine Calafiori plays as the left back, but you could say maybe with it being a game for Miles Lewis-Skelly, could he get a look in? And plenty of other subplots that I've missed out. But trust me, man, one big pussycat, bro. One big pussy, if I'm honest with you. Arsenal haven't lost a home game in the Premier League in September since 2012. Going unbeaten in 20 such matches since then. We've drawn 4 and won 16. Maybe that's a positive omen. Defensively, we'll be solid. It's hard. It's how hard we attack is what I'm focused on. And I think that's it. We're going to have half chances. Are we going to take them? Are we going to create enough? As you know, football's a numbers game. You create more chances, you're more likely to score. Won the ball high up and forced mistakes in that 5-1. Be interesting to see without Havertz and Odegaard pressing high. I wouldn't rule out Odegaard after, I wouldn't rule him out. I think there's a big chance he starts. Obviously, Kai is not going to play a part. Mikel Arteta has spoken on William Saliba, Benjamin White, Odegaard, and Bukayo Saka. Let's see what the gaffer himself has had to say. On the trio of Benjamin White, Saliba, and Saka, I believe, if there's a chance, it'll be after tomorrow's session, which would be today, because they haven't done anything yet. So we'll have more information tomorrow. Now, managers are going to tell a bit of a lie. He knows exactly if they could be involved. We could take his words for gospel, and maybe it's true, but it's not exactly a lie, but it's not exactly the truth type of thing, if that makes sense. Everything has been modified so far for them. There are still a few things to clear, and tomorrow we'll have more information on whether they are part of the squad or if they have a chance to be part of the squad. And then he went on to say, let's see. Obviously, he's been carrying an injury in relation to William Saliba. He's done really well to be available for the last match, and he's really pushing. So we will decide tomorrow who is best to start. Mascara is very good. I think credit to the scouting department and Andrea Berta that they presented the opportunity to have him. Again, as a boy, he's extremely focused, very determined, very clear that he wanted to come here, and he wanted to come here to play and earn his place. I think what he's been doing in that position so early is very impressive. I think everybody sings from the same hymn sheet. We've done it again, and I'm not saying I wouldn't have been equally happy with a Joel Hatto or a Howson, but for 13 million, I'm telling you, Andrea Berta is not going to be here long. You're going to get a recall case. But it's nice and it's refreshing to see that we got 13 million for a 21-year-old. Forget it. As Manny has said, please smash the like button. If Saliba feels like he's ready, then I'll take his word for it. Otherwise, Mascara starts for me. It's one where I don't think there's a right or wrong. It's dumb, but I think it's one where if we win, and specifically for Mikel Arteta, if you win, nobody cares. I'm not saying I want it. And I'm not saying we should try it again because it didn't work against Liverpool. But I understand if you start Marino in that 10. I'm not saying I want it. I understand if you gamble with an Eze. I understand if you persist with an Odegaard because, as I said, if there's one area I'm comfortable with, excluding the defense, it is our ability to press and be structured off the ball. Whether our midfield will do or the players in midfield will do what I need them to do, which is break lines, create chances, is another thing. But I can't say that and then act surprised if maybe a Marino, more so Odegaard, plays, if I'm honest. With Saliba, I think there's no rights and wrongs. Obviously, Mascara's 21. There isn't too much to go off, but you can only play what's in front of you. Stepped in well against Liverpool, took his chance against Forest, which you are playing against Chris Wood. He's been doing his thing. So naturally, I'm on starting him. But for me, if you put a gun to my head, I would risk Saliba for this. I'll hold all the L's. If Saliba looks rusty and maybe we should have started Mascara, I'll take that. And what I will say is, I do think it's a game for in-game management, a bit like the Liverpool game. Like, again, if I have my way, my lineup to start the game is Calafiori on the left, Timber on the right, obviously fullback, Raya in goal, Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes, Rice, Zubamendi, hold on with the 10, Madueke, probably Eze. Fair enough. Well, it would be Eze in the 10. It would probably be Madueke on the right, and it'd be Martinelli through the middle, and it'd be Gyökeres. But that might start the game. You might end the game with Marino up front. To be honest, God knows who's in midfield. With Marino up front, with Odegaard in the 10, with Rice, Zubamendi, Norgard, Saliba might not have 90 minutes, so you might have to draw for Mascara. Mascara might even end up playing right back, depending on where you're at with Benjamin White. It's an issue. Concerns about Zubamendi against Rodri, but it's not Zubamendi against Rodri, is it? Like, on the pitch, it's not Zubamendi against Rodri. It's more likely Odegaard or Marino to stand next to Rodri. indirectly, yes, our three is against their three. It's not really three against three because you'd imagine City will sing from the same hymn sheet, but it's 5 in midfield for Arsenal. I say that why? Calafiori's inverting. That's 4 to the 3 in midfield, right? Gyökeres clearly isn't going to do what Havertz and Marino do, but you have to drop deep. So that now becomes a 5 in midfield. That's why I say I've got faith in our defense. Mid block, low block, deep block, all that stuff. The way we press from the front. Midfield, I think both teams cancel out. I think it's our I think the one thing I'm looking at is something that I've held on to in the last 5 games in all comps and last season. When we get those chances, are we going to score them? Are we going to create enough? Because let's be honest, again, I'm not mocking it. Because if it happens again with City, you have to be there to exploit the mistakes. But if you're Pep, one reason as to why you fucked up, pardon my French, last season, you made stupid mistakes and Arsenal smelt blood. Take nothing away from Arsenal. Look at a couple of the goals that we scored. You know, we caught them high. I think Odegaard's put it in the back of the net. Havertz has got a goal. It was sloppy from a City perspective. Obviously, Lewis Skelly, they invited him to go forward and he took it. Probably for Pep, that's so big on the places you place yourself off the ball and possession-based football. We've popped about 30-odd passes before Declan Rice has switched it over to the right. And obviously, Wanyeri smelt blood and been the second Haylender to bag in it. So if you're Pep, these things can't happen. And I'm no expert, but just from watching City in their last few games, they're pressing a bit different. Obviously, Haaland, Doku, and Foden will scare anybody, not us, but they'll scare anyone. They're finding their way in form. Big up, Mark, Liverpool fan here. You'll put City in the spliff. Good luck to you. Mark, come on, my guy. I don't know how you lot do it. Do you know what? Funny enough, I think today was you lot's best performance across 90 minutes. Fucked up for the goal you conceded against Everton, but it weren't really a that thing. You shut up shop, and I think Hugo Ekitike is probably the most underrated Liverpool player, give or take, with Gravenberch, because I don't really think they get hyped. But big up yourself, Mark. You're clearly a fan of the sport first and club second, in which that's what we want here. At home, I need to see a bit more attacking intent. However, if it turns into a basketball match, their attack is still deadly. Mikel needs to find a balance. I won't lie, against City, apologies. You don't want it to become a basketball match. But if we've ever had a chance where we could go toe-to-toe with City, you know, Haaland's great, Bernardo, they got all these quality players. We should be able to bet. You got Rice screaming, you got Zubamendi regulating, you got Saliba and Gabriel or Mascara. You've got a great defensive ethos. You've got a team that if there's one evident area City looks shit, it's defense. I'll be very, you know what, fuck it, I'll put my neck on the line. If we don't get 2 goals in that game, I'm vexed as a minimum. Who is better, Caicedo or Gravenberch? As a complete midfielder, Gravenberch. He can do more than Caicedo. It's different. It's difficult. It's a bit harsh because it's different remits in midfield. But Caicedo, I like Caicedo, but he's turned into a bit of a shin kicker. But yeah, we need to smell blood. But that's why I'm saying, going back to what Arthur is saying, that stuff is on Arteta. Because granted, going into the game, City set up this way. I have no qualms about Mikel Arteta sussing City out. This player stands here, so we got to do all of that. But it's when it goes the other way. It's when there's a spanner in the works. It sounds dumb, but it's like our approach to games are a bit too logical for me. Sometimes there's illogical moments. Shabazz, it's illogical. He took a free kick today and it went over the bar. You saw what happened against us. I never had on my bingo sheet that Shabazz is going to slap in that free kick. So I can't get on to Raya for conceding or that goal going in. But what I can talk in is the in-game management. Klopp obviously made subs, but he changed things in-game and you could feel the tide going against us, even in the build-up to the free kick we gave away. It's those moments that, if I'm honest, I'm yet to be convinced with Mikel Arteta in. Slot said we're one of the few teams that can literally play any style. We can, so Arteta, show us that, because there's many ways to defend. You can time waste, you can speed up or decrease the tempo of a game. Obviously, the mid and the low blocks, the way you press, you know, all of those kind of things, we've got that. But then there's one thing I think we're missing. And, you know, I do think maybe we do too much about Arsenal not scoring goals because we're up there for goals. But attack is a form of defense, right? It's like being in a fight. Obviously, you can bob and weave, you can jab, you can have all the defensive styles. If you're in a fight with someone or in a boxing match, one form of defending yourself literally is throwing some punches back. It feels like we haven't got that. And obviously, City could, you know, one ball over the top for Haaland, we're in trouble and all those things. But if there was ever a game we could gamble, it should be now. I'm not saying these players are amazing and whatnot, but if I'm asking questions about City's defending, the only question mark about Madueke is, can you get goals and assists? But in terms of your skill set, he should be bad news for whoever the hell plays left back. He can go inside, he can go outside, go and put him in those moments. We know what Eze can do. We saw it at Crystal Palace, whether he's in the 10 or out wide, feed the man. Gyökeres, we don't need to see him for 89 minutes. Provide my man with a chance, he's gone. Declan Rice, Zubamendi, I know what you're on. Odegaard, captain, I need you tomorrow. I'm not even asking you to be amazing. If you start, I need everybody. I understand. I actually think he's gonna. You know, if you ask me, I think there's a good chance Eze's on the bench. If you ask me to name Mikel Arteta's lineup, and I would love to be shocked in these regards because, you know, you look at Liverpool away, you look at City at home. These are the games that you might look back in hindsight if we don't win a league title and be like, "Raw, we got a draw. Imagine we got 2 more points or we lost. Imagine we got the 3 points there." I'd imagine Martinelli will play left wing, Odegaard's in the 10, obviously Spaniard in Zubamendi, Englishman in Rice, Madueke on the right, Gyökeres through the middle. I genuinely think you're going to see that. I actually think there's more chance of seeing Mikel Merino in that 10 than seeing Eze play 10 tomorrow, if I'm honest. But I would love to be proven wrong. I honestly think we can test out the 3-4-3. I hear you with that. Maybe in-game we can mix and blend. But I don't think City is the game for that. If I'm honest with you, I'll be brutally honest. I don't think City's the game for all of that showing off. What has Arteta said? Keep your thoughts coming. We're gonna run over what Mikel the Gaffer has had to say. Can we please make sure we're smashing the like button and all that good stuff, people? Pardon me. Arteta said it's about winning again and creating another good moment for us. The consistency, competing against one of the best teams in the world, and a good test to see. And a good test for us to see our level. We've had 2 very important wins since the international break. Very good feeling about the games as well. We're preparing for a big match Sunday. And then he went on to say on Pep Guardiola, the demands he puts on himself, the standards that he requires from everyone around him, his will to win, to evolve, to improve. You look around him always, he wants to learn about the best people. For me, he's the best coach in the world. I had the pleasure to work with him and win a lot with him next to him. It's always great to see him back. Then he said, I think so, without a doubt. Knowing Pep personally, really, and the demands he puts on his players, the mentality they have in the football club, the squad and the players that they have, I think so for sure. So, yeah, man. He said there's a lot of things that you have to get right. He's a player who doesn't really need much space, much time or situations to generate big chances. This is obviously about Haaland, especially in and around the box. Sometimes preventing the source is the best thing to do, and we have to do that again. I mean, obviously, Haaland's probably the best 9 in the world, out-and-out striker in the world and in the league. But him and Gyökeres have something in common. It's also something I saw with Arsenal, with Gyökeres, and Nottingham Forest with Chris Wood. You look at Haaland, Gyökeres, and Chris Wood. They're traditional 9s. You don't give them a meal, they're not going to eat. So, and what has Arteta said there? You might not be able, Haaland might still score. We might not be able to prevent the brilliance of Haaland, but he's a service-reliant striker. And even if you're not, logically speaking, if you lock down the midfield, my man can't get on the ball. We all know, obviously, he will, but preventing the source. So that means in terms of build-up play, where we are off the ball, these are the things I have confidence in Arteta. But as much as we plan to nullify City, doesn't matter how much you want to think about the opposition or how much you want to disregard the opposition. Football's a simple game. It's so simple, it's complex, it's hypocritical like life. But we need to go down the other end of the net and bag, right? Simple as that. So we'll have to see. Let's see full well what Mikel Arteta has had to say as well, people. We've had 2 very important wins, very good feeling about the games as well. We're preparing for a big match on Sunday. We've gone over White, Saka, and Odegaard, but once again, he said if there's a chance, it will be after tomorrow's session, which is today, because they haven't done anything yet. So we'll have more information tomorrow on the head injuries with Gyökeres and Merino, and if they'll be fine. Yes, they'll be fine. On Saliba, let's see. Obviously, he's carrying an injury. He's done really well to be available for the last match, and he's really pushing. So we'll decide tomorrow who is the best to start. On the boardroom changes, no, there's been quite a lot of changes since I arrived at the club. First of all, obviously, Tim Lewis is leaving, and I'd like to say a few words because he's someone that I really enjoyed working with. I think he's had a tremendous contribution to everything that we've done over the last few years. Then on Rich Garlick, congratulations. It's a massive role to be the CEO of this football club. And then welcome to the new members of the board. Hopefully, they're going to make us better and help us with ideas and support for this club. It's ultimately Stan and Josh's decision. They've been incredibly supportive. So we move on again. On how much this game means in terms of the title race, it's about winning again and creating a good moment for us, the consistency, competing against one of the best teams in the world, and a good test for us to see our level. We've gone over Pep. On Madueke, he said, I was sure that he was a player with talent and quality that we didn't have in the squad, which is interesting. If you're one of the players and you're listening to that, hopefully that provokes fire in the belly. I wish, oh gosh, what's YouTube saying here? Big up you lot tuned in, people. Keep your thoughts coming. We're just racing over that. What has he said? Yeah, a player a player with a level of threat and great ability that was going to make us better. The moment I picked up the phone, I spoke to him, his dad, and his agent. The three of them gave me the impression they were really willing to come. They saw something special here they wanted to be part of. Then you have to come here and slowly they start to get to know him and he starts to get to understand the team. I think so far the impact he's had on the team is very, very positive. On Zubamendi settling in, it's another one. Coming from abroad is always very tricky, especially with the demands in this league and in the peculiar position, because you have so much responsibility in that role. You have to be aware of everything that we do. He's such an intelligent boy. He has a lot of presence, a lot of quality, and a lot of courage to play football. On why Mascara has been so solid, I mean, we've gone over that. He bigged up the scouting department. We've gone over Saka, White, and Odegaard. We won't do that again. On the type of game he's expecting on Sunday, smash the like button if you have not done such, people. There will be moments. It's been in the past as well in the last few years. They've changed quite a bit, especially in the back line, and they've recruited Erling Haaland as well. We've modified a few things because of the quality of the midfield, which is normal. And there's a tendency in football, especially because of the way teams are defending, but it has certain implications for how teams react to them, which is interesting. On the impact of subs, I mean, City a few years ago, the subs impacted positively. You look historically at the top teams, the team that has won a lot, the impact that the finishers have had has always been really, really high. You need that quality nowadays to unlock games, and to be consistent every 3 days is even harder. That's what we need. We're very lucky because we have players who can make an impact. They certainly did that the other day, and now we need consistency. On whether he talks to the subs before the game, we already had that discussion in pre-season about goals and responsibilities, which could be a bit of an insight, and about the implications of each goal in relation to the game, the scenario, the schedule, a lot of factors. But the quality and the delivery and the intensity and will that you have to put into every minute for this football club, that's unquestionable whether you're starting or not. Big up Pep. No one don't care about his rebuild. We could potentially go 5 games unbeaten, people, against Pep Guardiola. The preparation for the game will be to win, that's for sure. On us opening a mental health drop-in on match days, big us up. I hope that's great. On how aware he was of Tim Lewis, we've gone over that. He had various discussions. The future, we don't know. We've gone over the changes thing. On whether he wants to harness the positive feeling from Martinelli and Trossard. Yes, it certainly does, because when players are in that state, I think they have to be used and they have to be recognized. So is Martinelli or Trossard starting tomorrow? There's a lot of players in a really good moment, Marino as well, performing really well, and that's what we want. Whenever we need them, I'm sure they'll be at their best. On facing Haaland, there are a lot of things that you have to get right. He's a player who doesn't need much space, much time, or situations to generate big chances, especially in and around the box. Sometimes preventing the source is the best thing to do, and we have to do it again. On the current defensive quality being the benchmark, is certainly what we're doing today and what we have to do on Sunday and the following games. There's still a lot of things we can improve. We're very aware, but it's a big, very big foundation to achieve what we want. On whether Eze wants to be on whether he wants Eze as a touchline winger, it depends on the positioning. In one space or another, it's never the same. The space and the difficulty of the opponent will be different in what we want and what we want to accomplish with that. On whether it depends on the fullback, on who the fullback is. Yes, depending on where that man is defending, especially if it's our left or our right side, maybe the opposition side. If they're attacking between the lines, especially if it's higher or deeper, there's quite a lot of things to consider before we make that discussion and decision. On Lewis Skelly's celebration, that's done. That's it. That's part of it. There have been a lot of celebrations or non-celebrations in the past from a lot of teams. The experience is to learn and grow as well, and we certainly learned from that. On whether City are contenders this season, I think so, without a doubt. Knowing Pep really and the demands he puts on his players, the mentality they have in the club and the squad and the players they have, I think so for sure, and you can't rule them out. Rodri has said it's a very special fixture, people. I didn't think it was in the past, but in the last few years, we were title competitors. So, yes, it's very special. Of course, because we had players that played here, have gone to Arsenal. Mikel was here, part of the backroom staff, and he went there and became a bit bigger. We're in rhythm right now, whether they're in a better position and they are at a better level. So, we want to keep fighting with them. We have to raise the level. It's obvious. We know it's the beginning of the season where we play as much as we can to regain that level. Fair play. I'm not close. I'm not close to full fitness, but I wanted to come back. I wanted to see my teammates again. I would. Well, I mean, we don't need to read that, but that means Rodri ain't got 90 minutes. Bernardo Silva, the itch boy, is speaking. What has he said? I would say that Liverpool and Arsenal are the favourites, but it's the beginning of the season. And last season, everyone said City were the favourites. Last season, the favourites were Man City and Arsenal. Liverpool are not the favourites, and they won the Premier League. In the beginning, you can't do a lot of maths. Of course, we can speak for our team and say our level is still not where we want it to be, but we know that if we reach that level, not a lot of teams can stop us. Until February, you cannot win the Premier League, but you can lose it, which is an interesting comment, and I agree with that. What we want is to come back to our level and to get our level back to where we want to be. It was a period during the season where we didn't have the level to compete with any team. They saw the opportunity to come after the guys who took away their title for 2 years, and they came for us, which is normal. It was tough for us for 3 months. And then when we recovered, it was too late because we're already 25 points or something behind. If you look at the last 15, 20 games of the season, we did really well. We were the team in the second half of the Premier League which had the most points. So the team recovered to the right level at the end of the season, but it was a period where it was tough for us and they took advantage. Okay, so that's what Bernardo has said. Pep Guardiola, I mean, you know what? To be fair with you lot, Pep's done a lot of speaking, so I don't even really want to hear much from Pep, but we could try and browse and see what's being said. Oh gosh, well, we've lost Pep's comments. Go to page 2. Foden said it's a massive game. That's Pep's comments. Let's see what Phil Fodenio and Pep have said. I know when my team is consistent, because when you win 6 Premier Leagues, you have to be a machine, a consistent team. And for that, they have to prove more. But of course, we arrived a week against United, Napoli, and now Arsenal. To be fair, they played on Thursday, we played on Tuesday. We've got all the advantages. Smash the like button if you hate Tottenham. Big up Victor on that. I would say it's not an easy week, but in the Premier League, it's always like that. What is important is the feeling, the vibe of the team, the body language, especially. I'm focused on that. The body language of the team has grown up. I'm pretty pleased with that. Win or lose, always we try. But you see the team is in a good vibe, and that's what we have to do. He then said, once again, the last 15, 20 minutes was a disaster. We forgot to do what we have to do. After that, for Arsenal, it was easy for them. Hopefully this season we make more of a challenge, because Mikel is an extraordinary manager. They increased the squad in the 4-5 transfer windows. It's an unbelievable squad, an unbelievable team. It's one of the toughest opponents you can find right now in Europe. Step by step, window by window, Arsenal is getting better. Last season in Europe, they made an incredible step forward. For me, it's the most solid team. They don't make mistakes, and it's an incredibly solid team. They have pace up front. They have set pieces with Nicholas Hover, who was here in every department. We know it. I know the quality they have. We know what we have to do and how players are fit. We try to compete and be better than last season, especially in the last 20, 15 minutes. So again, in-game management could be something. Listen, it's the 5th game of the season. Come on. Alex Ferguson, when I arrived here, said to Brian Kidd after Boxing Day that you have to stay close to the top 4. After that, you can think about it. Last season, after Boxing Day, we were in another country. We'll see what happens. From experience in the 6 Premier Leagues, or 4 or 5 in December or January, we were behind Liverpool, Arsenal, and in the end, we won it. Seeing the team growing up, that is my only concern right now, making a step forward. We are not going to lose the Premier League on Sunday. Sorry, we're not going to win the Premier League on Sunday, and we're not going to lose the Premier League on Sunday. We'll see the team. We will see the team that we are better than we were last season there, and continue to be better. Many little things these last 2 games, and continue to do that. What has Phil Foden said? Massive game, massive game. You called us a dead team, so you can shut the hell up. We obviously know how difficult Arsenal is. They don't make it easy for us. Similar to Napoli, they are very hard to break down, but hopefully we can keep patient, pick our moments at the right times. It's going to be a very good game and a good watch, people. I don't really care about Foden individually. It's not the international break, so I don't care about how you feel about your season. But yeah, Pep has been playing mind games. Apparently, Arsenal are looking to become more unpredictable in their front line this season. It's understood that Noni Madueke, Gabri, Martinelli, and Eze will rotate more across positions throughout the season, so opponents face a struggle to prepare. Eze is still apparently in Mikel Arteta's thoughts to play as an attacking midfielder, despite solely operating from the left wing since his return. I like the fact he said return, people. What has Pep Guardiola said here? I don't want to hear that, man. He was even getting at our spending. Apparently, William Saliba requests urgent meeting with Gunners as Real Madrid ramp up interest in signing the Frenchman as a free agent. William Saliba has requested an urgent meeting with Arsenal over the renewal of his contract as Real Madrid step up their interest. Maybe that's pressure from his agent to get things done. Saliba's current deal at the Emirates expires in 2027. Real Madrid are ready to negotiate a cut price deal for the Frenchman with the Gunners over the next 2 years. According to Dario AS, Madrid are keeping a close eye on Saliba's situation at Arsenal as they remain interested in signing the French international and are likely to see David Alaba and Rudiger leave the club next summer. And as a result, they're in the market to sign a partner for Dean Howson next season. Saliba's current deal runs until 2027. What do we make of this? And is yet to put pen to paper on a new deal. However, Indy Kyle, I mean, see what one co-sign from David Ornstein can do. Reports the defenders reps have requested a meeting with the Premier League, I think they mean Premier League club, to discuss the terms of a new deal. The report also claims the Frenchman will demand more wages to commit his future to the Gunners, as he should. Konate could be a Saliba alternative. Take Konate, he's better. He's won a league. Saliba ain't. And nobody don't care what hey, my unks, American Gunner. You don't know what this guy's done for the platform. He's kept it alive. My Roman Abramovich. Hope you and the kids are doing all well and safe. No one don't care. We care what American Gunner and you lot have to say. No one don't care what Troy Deeney's had to say. But just so I could get you lot's thoughts. I know my opinion. I want you lot's thoughts. Troy Deeney has said, I don't care about him one bit, but Gyökeres needs to score in big games. Arsenal brought him to score against Man United, Liverpool, City. I'm underwhelmed. He's better than you. And he's scoring tomorrow. That's the one thing. I don't care if he's a flat track bully, but once he scores against the bigger teams, even though I think we have not created enough against Liverpool or United for all of our players, let alone him, how am I going to benefit? Gyökeres is scoring tomorrow. Cheeky penalty. Do you lot agree with Martin Keown? There is a possibility Eze could play as a midfielder against City. I'd start with Martinelli and play Eze in midfield. Eze is a player that I want playing in midfield. Don't think anyone disagrees with that. We've gone over this. I was reading this, people. Apparently, Tim Lewis strongly opposed nation states, and he was on to Manchester City and seeing them charges. As you would have known, he's obviously left Arsenal Football Club as well. And we've got this new Donny, a Nepo baby, the new Arsenal power broker. He was friends with Tom Cruise and James Corden. Ben Wilson, the Emmy Award-winning producer, whose contact list reads like a Hollywood roll call. The 43-year-old Arsenal obsessive has been added to the club's new look hierarchy after a dramatic reshuffle that saw long-term advisor Tim Lewis step aside and Josh Kroenke take a firm grip of day-to-day influence. Got a rich dad in it and clearly good friends. So I have to see. We're still linked with Orhan Sanchez, people, and Arsenal are apparently prepared to move on one of Arteta's starters in order to bring him in, who plays for Bilbao. It didn't wow anybody against Bilbao for Arsenal, but who knows? Who do they want to move on? It's got to be Odegaard based on the reports. Okay, Mikel Merino. The most interesting aspect of the report claims that the Berta is thinking about offloading Mikel Merino, who signed for the Gunners in 2024. Arsenal preparing to spend £70 million, 80 million euros. I strongly doubt that, but good headline. Pep's urged City to raise their game against Arsenal. We know that. Mikel Arteta said move on from the whole Miles Lewis-Skelly stuff. What is this? Chelsea want Camavinga. We should get involved in that. Man United won't sack Scammer win. Well, you know what? Let's just call him Amrin. You can't be Scammer win because you've not scammed a win. 8 wins in 32 games is shocking. Absolutely shocking. But let's carry on moving. Gabriel Jesus is ready to take a major career decision with the 2026 World Cup approaching. Having been struck by a serious injury and forced to watch as Mikel Arteta spent lavishly on attacking options this summer, the striker is considering his future at the Emirates Stadium. I think we could use him for a year minimum. Jesus is exploring his options and is prepared to return to his native Brazil. Several reports saying that Berta is going to look to get him off the wage bill in January. Sources have informed Football Transfer the 28-year-old is seriously considering a move away from North London, with interest growing from Premier League rivals, but also from his homeland. West Ham United and Everton have made initial inquiries with Arsenal. Both feel Jesus would bring their squad's Champions League quality and versatility to their attacking options. Arteta moving on from Jesus. He's got no choice. We've got Gyökeres, Eze's walked in, Madueke's walked in, Trossard and Martinelli have been more prominent. One solution that he is exploring is returning to Brazil. Flamengo are monitoring the situation. The player feels that this is a viable deal because it would boost his visibility to national team boss Ancelotti. But are they going to take you permanently or on loan? A January transfer now looks increasingly likely. Jesus' contract runs until 2027, so technically 2 seasons. Arsenal may be open to offers if the right bid arrives. That could come either from a Premier League rival or via the player's homeland of Brazil, people. So very interesting dynamics there. So what we've learned is that Saliba's agent has said that he wants a meeting. Jesus is considering his future. And we're still linked with Luis Bentanetti. He's linked with Barcelona, Arsenal, and Napoli. There's rumors he could be available for 10 odd million. Obviously, we're well stocked defensively, but you can never have too many future prospects, people. What's this? Gunners to rival Barcelona for Brazil sensation. This has got to be about Bentanetti. No one cares about what you say with Gyökeres. And nobody don't care about Rodrigo anymore. You didn't want to join us, really. We'll wait for the rumors next year. And yeah, we've gone over the Bentanetti stuff. What is this saying in relation to Christian Mosquera? How bargain by Christian Mosquera is already setting the standard for his teammates. There are plenty of stats that could sum up Christian Mosquera. He's made 3 appearances, totaling, including 85 minutes at Anfield. It is a feat made even more impressive, given that only Timber has made more tackles for Arsenal this season. And Timber's obviously bigged him up as well. We got him for 30 mil. Mark Gurhey and Howson would have cost an arm and a leg, people. So, yeah, we're able to save. The defender was not unhappy at Valencia, whose academy he came through, and he only wanted to leave if a top club came calling. Mosquera wanted to join a side where he could challenge for trophies while continuing to play regularly. Valencia had hoped to secure a higher fee and mid-interest from other clubs, including Atletico, but Mosquera informed them that he only wanted to move to Arsenal. Negotiations were led by Arsenal sporting director Berta, who was aware of Mosquera during his time at Atletico Madrid. He only had a year left on his contract at Valencia. Obviously, Mikel Arteta's got involved as well. The Spaniard has won 8 of his 9 ground duels at a success rate of 88.9%, the best in Arsenal squad and the highest in the Premier League among players with at least 200 minutes of action this season. Arsenal's recruitment team were attracted to Mosquera's speed, but also his versatility. Indeed, he's viewed as an option at right back if needed, and obviously played there during pre-season. Arsenal were also impressed by the first-team experience that Mosquera had under his belt. Despite his age, he featured in 37 of Valencia's 38 La Liga games last season, playing 90 minutes in each. Over the past 2 seasons, Mosquera has played almost 6,400 minutes in La Liga, more than any player under 21 in Europe's top 5 leagues, according to Opta. So yeah, man, keep pushing, take your chance and run with it. Our young G's won 3-2 against Wolverhampton, including Max Dowman and Onus getting on the score sheet. That tells me we're not expected to see Max Dowman in the squad tomorrow. You never know, it has been done before. Mikel Arteta has implemented a team bonding scheme at Arsenal that is in fact costing his players thousands, according to a report. According to The Sun, the Spaniard has created a strict rule, which means players must meet at the training ground before home and away games in an effort to build team spirit. It's reported that Arteta believes every player must be in sync to win the Premier League, with body language and friendships also monitored. Players usually drive straight to the stadium for home games or arrive on the club coach. Arteta, though, is said to order the players to meet at the Coley training ground, 24 miles from the stadium, and they bus to the ground together after. It said many players have therefore opted to get cabs to the training ground, essentially renting them out for the whole day. Drivers are reported to pick them up and take them to Colney and then return them to pick up their families. Drivers are then said to wait behind to drop players back after the game for away games. It said that the players cannot be picked up from the ground by their families and must go back to the training ground before being cabbed home again. The Sun reported that the daily rate of bookings for cabs range from 700 to 1,000, which is half. Bro, what kind of Ubers is this? And I mean, the club could pay for that, really. You know, I hear it, though. Big up the gaffer. You keep doing all that madman stuff. I'm here for that anyways. I'm here for that. Anything we could do to get anything close to an advantage, I'm all for that. Big up Mosquera. Keep this level up. He'll definitely be one of the signers of the season. Credit to him for his performances. He already is one of the... Bro, 13 million quid. Who's got better value for money? Jesus loan with obligation to buy. It's true, though, but his wages... no one ain't trying to take on them wages permanently. And I think there'll be offers for it. Definitely where the Prem's concerned, if Prem clubs are involved, that they need to do that. But he's on big wages. And surely if you're going to buy Gabriel Jesus, you might take him on loan. You might even have an option. You might be on quote unquote an obligation, but surely you're going to be like, rah, Jesus is quality. First thing, you're going to be like, rah, Jesus done his thing at Arsenal, helped them get title contenders, done his thing at City, Brazil International, Bobby Dazzler, amazing on YouTube, all these things. But you're going to be like, right, he's had an ACL injury, his second. Surely you're going to wait to see what his fitness is like or continued fitness and his playing level before you commit. So it might tell me there's a dry loan. But even that in January, if Jesus goes, it is what it is. But we don't know what the diet, God forbid, but we don't know if Saka's going to pick up a knock, Eze's going to pick up a knock. Jesus might come back and, you know, be in a good moment of form, a bit like, you know, when he got injured against United, I'm sure he had a good game against Crystal Palace. I would probably keep him to the end of the season, but I understand if we say, you know what, palm off those wages and, you know, the season will be his loss. I genuinely think Trossard, whatever man think about Trossard, Odegaard, Havertz, Jesus, Martinelli, beyond the obvious players, I think you lot could be tools in a toolbox for whatever this season is saying for us in in all comps. There's a use for you. Like Champions League, let alone Champions League, latter stages of the champs. It's not a bad option to have Jesus involved in the squad. I'd keep Jesus, bin Havertz. I'm not binning Havertz for what's left of this season. And I don't think Havertz is getting binned for a minute. I think Arsenal City has draw written over it. It'd be disappointing, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. Is it something in the world Arsenal causing these injuries? Potentially, but maybe it's just circumstantial. Only behind Timber. I hear it. Martinelli off the bench, super sub. I think he's going to start tomorrow, you know. Howson / Saliba would be crazy. Arsenal must beat City and Newcastle. You think Pep could take this current side further than Arteta if given a chance? Yeah. Respectfully to Arteta, that's Pep Guardiola. I definitely think he would have got over the line in the last 3 years. Maybe not last season with the injuries, but 100%. We need Noni to score. I'll be real. I don't give a David Raya. Anybody can score. Just run me my 3 points. This guy in his finishes, he thinks WWE. Listen, big up Arteta, but no matter how much you impactors and finishers and all these things, bro, it's subs and starters, man. No matter how you dress it, put yourself in their shoes. Obviously, you have to put your ego to the side. Whatever you think about, I want to start and I'm upset, the greater good of the team comes first. But you know you're on the bench. Get the bit between your teeth in a positive way, like what Martinelli and Trossard did. Obviously, Arteta's using you as impactors and we know we need squad depth, but go and put 2 middle fingers up at your manager. Go, if he's ever considering, well, Eze's not doing the business, this one's not doing the business, give Arteta headaches. Gyökeres gets free tomorrow by God's grace. Feed the man. Whether we feed him, I don't know. We need to make the Emirates a fortress this season. We've ground out some tough away games and seem to be a bit soft at home. I think we're too emotional at the Emirates, man. I don't know, man. I think we're more calculated and a bit more street smart away from home. Naturally, when you're traveling to an away ground, you're gonna be like, it's like going to someone's house. How you might, in my house, I might put my feet on the chair and I'm bare relaxed. You're not going to do that if you go to someone else's house. Well, maybe there's that, but I agree. And to be fair, Emirates is where the damage has been done generally when we've been fighting for a title. Like, it is what it is. The depth makes our starting 11 unpredictable now, and I love it. I hear it, but are we truly unpredictable? We might be thinking Mascara, Saliba, or even Mascara at right back instead of Timber, or Benjamin White ahead of Timber, or Hincapie, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Calafiori. Obviously, same example at left back. Plenty of question marks in midfield. Who plays on the left and the right? Who plays up front, especially when everyone's fit? But I think as Arsenal fans, we know the starters, and we know when we're going to like a Liverpool away or at home, but a Liverpool away or City. Not that we can never predict things, but we kind of know. Like, it'd be fair to say as Arsenal fans, not criticizing the gaffer, but it'd probably be fair to say to us Arsenal fans, we'd be more shocked to see Eze play in the 10 or the 8.5, whatever you want to call it, but Eze to play in the Odegaard role. We'd be more shocked to see that than Merino. So it'd be interesting. You got the tools now, Tate. You got the tools, you got the toolbox. It's down to you now, my guy. You're right that Martinelli will start on Sunday, and if Odegaard isn't fit, then we'll see the same midfield that we saw against Bilbao. Potentially, I think it's a thing where I think he's betting on Saliba and Odegaard. I'm exaggerating, and don't quote me on the maths, but I think if it's a thing where Odegaard's 85% fit, I think he starts. Saliba 85% fit, which I'm not saying it's right. I think he starts. I think he gambles on that. And again, if I want us to be good in midfield and press well and all that stuff, I'm not against Odegaard. But what I will say is, if you see it's not working or man look a bit rusty, boy, and everyone forgets, to be fair, Odegaard scored in this fixture last year. And for Odegaard, at the end of the day, you won't shut up critics. But everyone's slagging you off. They're going to love you for 90 minutes. Ultimately, football's a fickle old game, I don't think Martinelli will start personally. He's incredible off the bench, but average when he starts the game. Eze on the wing and Nwaneri can for me. You're not seeing Nwaneri start tomorrow. I think Eze will be on the bench and Martinelli will start. Your squad is fat. It's just about mentality now. You have a great defense, banging midfield and goals. I won't lie, Mark. I hear that. But I actually think we got the mentality. I think the mentality is there. I think the squad's there. I think it's on the... I'll be real. I'm not just trying to make it about the gaffer, but I think it's on the gaffer, bro. Obviously, the players are the ones playing, but I think it's on the gaffer. Every player that's left this club last summer and every player that's still here, I've said this before. I cannot rate you. I cannot think you're meant to be at the club. But generally, every player last season, especially around that January period, I've got nothing but love and respect for you, because I think the club did you dirty in January. I think the club did the fans and the players dirty last summer, because we should have, well, to be fair, the summer Liverpool have had this year, like us, they should have had last summer. It's different because obviously Liverpool ran off with the title, but start as you mean to go on. We had a shit summer last year. We had a shit season. We had a couple highs. It's nice to win against the top 6, Real Madrid and all that, but ultimately, we're at that point where the project's done, bro. When Arteta came into this football club, the remit was to make us more competitive. From 2019 to what was it, 2021, 22, the first year we fought for the titles, Zinchenko and Jesus. That's the project done for me, you know. It was project making us competitive. It's done now. That's done. We're in the room now. We can go. We've got money now. We've got a job. We've got money. When our friends are saying, go out to the club on the weekend, we're there now. Can we secure? The pretty babes is smiling. Have we got the confidence to go and talk to her and take her home and go from foreplay to beating? Because we've not been beaten. As graphic as it is, apologies to the galley out there. You know, we can do practical as well as theory, allegedly. But yeah, I don't know anything a rival manager says, especially when they've beaten us. To be fair, Mikel Arteta and the players, I think it's water for ducks back. I don't think they listen to the was from Arsenal fans, from the media landscape, much less what Pep. You know, it's mind games. I do think we're just focused on what we need to do. For some reason, I was more confident of us beating Liverpool than I am with us beating City on Sunday. I think I'm in the same space in a sense that I want us to go for it. In fact, I smell more blood because I think City's defense, I'll be very upset. I'm not saying Arteta, I definitely don't think we're going to play free-flowing football. I don't think it clicks overnight. I don't think that happens, in it. But I need to see us get at that back line, because that back line is still as shit as when we played them last year. It's one thing exploiting the mistakes, which we did well in the 5-1 defeat. Can we exploit any defeat, any errors, or can we also go for it? That's what I need. At home, I need to see a bit more attacking intent. However, if it turns into a basketball match, their attack is still deadly. Mikel needs to find a balance. True. Arteta knows if Saliba is available, he speaks like a politician. Wouldn't you, though? Because, I think Arteta probably knows what's going on at City. Likewise, Pep knows what's going on with the fitness. But you're not going to give anything away. It's one where you're not exactly telling the truth. You're not exactly lying. You're going to play a bit of mind games, innit? My hot take is Saliba could have played against Bilbao, but he probably thought, if I'm going to risk you now. And even that, if I'm completely honest with you, we played on the Tuesday. They played on the Thursday. They probably, it takes anything from 24 to 48 hours to recover from an injury, right, people? So they should be to recover from a professional football game. So we should be fresh. I don't want to see, bro. I can't lie. There's no excuses, bro. Just go for it, man. Just go for it. They're not thumping us up no more. Fuck them. I've had enough. I've had enough of City. I want revenge. And obviously, Arsenal. Sorry, my TV is going to turn off. Obviously, Arsenal are not the big bad bullies, but you can see little old Arsenal that finished second again, that ain't won no trophies, that everybody says we're not good. We've touched City. Remember, they used to mash us. They used to mash us up on the football pitch, cricket scores. Then we went from them mashing us up to where it was kind of an even game across 90 minutes. Obviously, individual quality, they'd go win. Now we started to, obviously we didn't beat them at the Etihad, but a red card, we can do a thing. There's a bit of bad blood. We smacked them last season. You can see the little indirects from Pep, from Foden. Bernardo Silva's a bitch as well. He defo wears knickers. I'm on you for life. Again, I could have rubbed myself out and got myself cancelled, but Bernardo Silva, big up you. We're all inclusive, bro. Like, you're a certain word, bro. You're a certain word. You're actually like a twat, bro. I've never did that. Of all the guys, I don't even mind Rodri. Rodri's a villain. Bernardo Silva, you're a pussy. You talk too much. First 50-50. I need to get Bernardo out of it, bro. Like, but I don't want him to get hurt. We don't like none of that stuff. Clamp. Immediately, that's man of the match for me. Clamp him, please rough him up, because he talks too much. Oh my God, at least Liverpool came to play better than us. They fucked us better than you. Shut up, man. Come get your 3 points back, you dickheads, man. Like, fuck all you lot. I want all of this. I want all the smoke. If you're not involved with Arsenal, I don't care anymore. Forget that. What's the worst? And I want fearlessness. What's the worst they can say about my football club that they haven't said already? That Arteta's not good enough. That you spent all this money. That these players are bottlers. Oh, the league. We all know if we win, oh my God, Arsenal could win the league. If we lose, oh my God, it's done. They failed to win at Liverpool. They failed to win at Arsenal. Big hypothesis about the tactics. Be fearless. What's the worst that can happen? Shit that these lot ain't been saying for years. Siege mentality business. You see, if you don't support, I barely care about Arsenal fans' opinions, let alone people abroad and in this country that don't support my team. Fuck the talk. Most hated and rated. We're supposed to be hated. George Graham said it best. We're supposed to be hated. You know what Wenger did when he came to this league and why they hate him. We know about the pylon. Fuck him. Pardon my French. Clamp him, bro. Bro, clamp him. Immediate clampers. The bastard clamping as well. Like when the ball's going out of play, out of there. Or the ones where ball's going out, barge him, bro. Like push it out. Bro, you need to get out of it. You need to get out of it. You need to get, and you Foden as well. You ain't even said nothing. But many years ago, I watched a video. You called us a dead club. Now you're saying it's a big game. I'm on you. Damn, I feel offended. You don't care about man's opinion. Rashid, don't do that. Obviously, I care, but like I'm saying in general, us Arsenal fans, we barely care. If you're Mikel Arteta out, you don't really care what a Mikel Arteta in has to say. If you're Mikel Arteta in, you don't care what Mikel Arteta has. And then there's someone like me that sees a bit of the others, probably don't even care what I said. Arsenal fans, we barely care what us fans think. So why care about external validation? All this, you must win. For a team that's bottlers and spent all this money and all these positive statistics, but we ain't done anything. Well, everybody's watching us. Everyone can tell Arsenal fans how many games we've won, how long Arteta's been here, how much money's been spent, our defensive system, all of this kind of crap. So we clearly must be rated, but forget all of that. But main thing, Bernardo still out of it. Eze was a touchline winger and the team was ignoring him. I think you're mistaken. I don't personally feel, I feel you need to watch Eze on the left-hand side. He's not been a touchline winger. He's been in that half space. I agree with the point. We need to feed him. But then is that an Eze thing? Because we're talking about Eze. We're talking about Martinelli going backwards, whether we rate Nelly or not. We're talking about Martinelli going backwards. Odegaard's form has been crap, but we're talking about his pressing. We knew whether we got Gyökeres, Ollie Watkins, Alexander Isak, even if we had Haaland, some of these guys are better than others, can make individual things. But we knew it weren't just a case of just plugging new attackers and we're playing. So is it an individual thing or is it something on Mikel Arteta? Because listen, you look at the Bilbao game, they were good. Individually, they weren't amazing, but they made it difficult. They were up for it at their ground. They stifled us. They were on it. We did have problems progressing play from defense into midfield, ultimately into attack. Like our, Gyökeres feeding off scraps, which you saw against Leeds and Nottingham Forest, in which he bagged in. Eze didn't have his best of individual performances, but I couldn't say we're finding him either. Is it any coincidence that we're saying that about the whole front three? And also bear that in mind, throw in the fact that, is it any coincidence Madueke was probably had the most of the ball? So we still got that right-hand bias. Arteta, the tools are there. The toolbox is 30. You know what you need to do, bro. You know what you need to do. And what else have you said? Ignoring him to feed Noni 100 times, facts. Now everyone's saying Eze isn't good at left wing. If we give him some of Noni's chances, he'll convert from left wing. Got to feed him. Man, then we can't be playing Eze on the wing, hogging the touchline. He barely touching the ball. The system don't suit him well. Suits the defense only. See, the fact that we know Wanyeri won't start before the game even starts is the only bad part about Arteta. I really think it opens up different passing lanes for Madueke. Madueke, brother, take your man on, bro. Both wingers. I don't care who is on the left, who's on the right. Cook them. I need runs from midfield. One thing I won't accept is that not getting that defense. I just need to see. The only way I allow my players, I need to see $1 million Donnarumma saves. Oh my God, what fucking keeper. That's why he's a Euro winner in Champions League. Test that guy, bro. Like these guys, I've had enough of this shit. I've actually had enough. Bernardo Silva's got me up for this. He needs to get clamped, bro. I fear if we loan him with an option to buy, he gets hurt again. We're on the hook again. Don't like the odds. I hear it. In my opinion, our physio is niche, need an upgrade. I like Jesus, but if he's serious about getting into the Brazil squad, he needs to be playing on a regular basis. I don't think he will with us. He needs to cut, bro. The reason why Noni is balling is because this system, it leaves the wingers doubled up most of the time. Noni can cook two players. Eze ain't doing that, let's be real. We're playing like Saka is still there. So what does that tell you? What the manager wants to do regardless. Yeah, when he drifts in centrally, I feel like it's to remind everyone he's still there. Eze has to start demanding it. I can't. Like, you can demand it as much as you want. If I'm screaming, yo, give me the ball, man, I'm looking at, because we were all in the Sunday, give me the ball, man, I'm looking at, yo, I'm going to play, sideways. That's whether you've got maybe your teammates don't have the ability to find you. Maybe they don't want to find you. Maybe there's an element of they don't want to trust you. What I think it is, you're sticking to the tactics. Everything good, everything bad, it's on you, Mikel. Simple as that for me. This guy, Rashid's a fool. Big him up. Make sure he says, guy, DJ has lost all composure. Like Kai in front of goal is crazy. Bernardo got him punching it. No, man, because I just don't like it's sport, bro. Like, listen, football's all inclusive, but we're supposed to be men, bro. When it's all said and done, shake hands. It is what it is. This guy is just this, bro. He seems like someone give him a tampon, bro. That's what I will say. I'm trying to be respectful. Someone give, but clearly Bernardo Silva needs a tampon. Clearly. For someone with all the ability, and it hurts me more because you can see videos on my YouTube channel. Bernardo Silva is one of my favorite players. Got a little twat, bro. Diver as well. That's actually why I like you. I like people that have the dark arts in him, but he's soft. Just stop whining, bro. Oh my God, we can't. This is what annoys me as well. You're Manchester City, bro. You got Pep Guardiola, you got all these great attackers historically. And he will sit there and say, oh, teams didn't, they just came to defend. Why on God's green earth would they open up and make it a foot? Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense? Fuck him, man. I mean, go watch Rice in the game again. That's where we need Zubamendi. Rice can find him, not on a consistent basis, but we should be finding man from all over the pitch, which is on the gaffer. The good and the bad is on the gaffer. It's as simple as that, man. It's as simple as that. But with that being said, though, I'm aware that we're going to be live at 5:15. We're going to watch Manchester United against Chelsea. If you haven't smashed the like button, please make sure you do. Tomorrow, we will be doing a watch-along. So let me give you a lot a bit of a breather, and I'll see you lot soon, man. Done, though. Arteta, if you need individual billions. Don't go one. I got...
Against this right back, Charlie, definitely.